Oh no, Mrs. Smith, I'm so sorry to hear that. I tell you what, let me look at our schedule and let's see what we can do to try to get out there soon. I know it's so hot outside. You must be, how hot is the house again? Oh my goodness, I know how miserable that is. My air conditioner's broken the past before too, and I even work on them, but by the time I got home, I was able to fix it and get the temperature back down, but boy, I know how miserable it can be. So let's see what we can do to get somebody out there to take a look at that. How many times are you guys showing empathy to the customer when they call your office? Or if you're still in the truck and you're answering the phone, how many times are you showing empathy? How many times are you saying, oh my goodness, that's got to be horrible. I'm so sorry you didn't get any sleep last night. Let's get you some cooling. We'll see what we can do. I can see if I can't run by there later this evening and take care of that for you so you can actually sleep tonight. Just showing some empathy. So that's the question. Are you giving that kind of empathy to your customers every time they call you? I know I didn't. When I was answering the phone all the time and trying to get my work done, I wasn't showing much of any empathy because I didn't have any to give. But that was a mistake. I should always show empathy on the phone because the reality is that person who calls your company is, feeling anxious, maybe a little fearful, maybe some worry, because they want to hear you say that it's going to be okay and that you're going to come out and take care of it for them. So I want to tell you about a study that was done, and I'll tell you about it here at the end of the video, but first, let's talk about three archetypes of different people that there are out there that you really want on your team. And those are connectors, mavens, and salespeople. Not necessarily like a salesperson on your team, but I mean customers of yours, because these are the type of people that can create an epidemic in your company as far as spreading the word that you actually are in business and can actually connect you to more people. So connector is just what it sounds like. Connectors are people who just know everybody. I mean, after a little while of talking to somebody, you may even say that to them. You may even say, gosh, you know a lot of people. Well, that's because they're typically extroverted and they do know a lot of people. They could be like the life of the party, those type of people. Those are great people to have for customers because if you do right by them, they're going to tell all the people that they know, which is a lot of people. Then we have mavens. Mavens are great people to also have as customers because they're probably more like introverted. They do their due diligence before they make big purchases. They're really good at recommending different services and products to people because they did so much research. So when they research this stuff, you tend to listen to these people like, oh, I researched everything in Consumer Reports and I went with this TV because of this, and this. Like it might have taken them 3 months to decide to buy that TV, but because of their deep research, they feel this inner need to communicate that to anybody they talk to. Like they're going to tell you about why this TV is so great. They're not necessarily trying to sell you on that TV or that product or service, the other product or service, but because they did their research and because they actually experienced it for themselves, they feel compelled to tell other people about that product or service. So those are great people to have on your customer list as well. Then we have salespeople. Salespeople just have this, you might hear people say they just light up a room when they walk into a room, or they have this bubbling enthusiasm that's literally transfers onto you. Like they're excited, so you tend to get excited. These type of people are just masters at persuasion. They're masters at influence, and people tend to listen to those people. And we've all been the salesperson at one point in time in our lives. If you've ever seen a great movie and you tried to convince your friend to go watch that movie, you were a salesperson at that time. So that's in all of us, and that's something that we'll talk about in another video, because we have to be that way with our customers every time to persuade and influence them to make the right decisions and do what their system needs, whatever that is. Whatever options you came up or solutions you came up with, we still have to convince them that this is the right thing to do as a professional. But the study that I'm talking about has a lot to do with the salesman archetype, which is being a sender. Okay, so emotions are transferable. They did this study to where they took a salesperson, and you could set two people in a room where they're not allowed to talk, they can't touch each other, and they have to sit there for X amount of time. Once that time is up, then the person who had that personality type, they're the ones who transfer this energy, transfer this magnetism that they have. Whether they were in a bad mood or a good mood, when they interviewed the other person who just was more of a neutral type person, they felt the same way that person was, the vibes that they were giving off. Like, you've heard that saying before, like giving off some good vibes or bad vibes, right? Well, that's literally a thing. And people who are good at, who have this enthusiasm, this underlying enthusiasm, are really good at transferring that emotion to somebody else. And they really are good salespeople when you have that type of person. Now, I believe that we're all capable of this, but we have to feel the same way about our product and service as we do about that movie that we're trying to convince our friend to go see. If you don't have the same enthusiasm, you're just not going to be very powerful at persuading somebody else to go see it, or somebody else to buy that product that can really change their lives and improve the comfort of their home. So all these things, every time we go out to a service call, we're looking for anything that makes the system more safe, more efficient, and more reliable. And if you get excited about the products that you have because you know the drastic difference that they can make in your customers' lives, you're automatically going to have that bubbling enthusiasm. You're like, you got to get this Remy Halo, you got to get this air scrubber, you got to get this iWave, you got to get this product. Like, you're not going to believe like how much cleaner the air is going to smell in your home. Like, any odor that you have, like after cooking, like it just knocks it right out. As far as like all the germs on surfaces, like this thing, it actually kills 99.99% of all surface bacteria, which means you'll stop spreading germs around your house. So like, if somebody gets sick, it's a lot less likely that other people will get sick. So you see what I'm doing here? I'm using my tonality. I'm excited about it, and you got to get excited about it too. But back to the front of our conversation, empathy. You can send somebody empathy too. You can be a sender when it comes to empathy. You got to show them and make them understand that you feel their pain. And if you start doing that, you're going to build a lot more rapport with each and every customer, and you're going to have a better chance at them seeing you as a professional and actually going with the things that you're prescribing to fix their system and to do what they want done. So you got to show empathy on every single call, and think about those, on that other line when somebody calls, they could be one of those three archetypes. They could be a connector, a maven, or a salesperson. And those are the people you really want to take care of because they're going to tell multiple people. And that's how you can create an epidemic of growth in your company. So keep this in mind, guys. I thought that was a great, that really was a really good book. So if you get a chance to read The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell, really interesting, lots of studies in there that they talk about, but there is such thing as sending that emotion, transferring that emotion to somebody else. You've all felt it before, and you've all done it before with somebody else. So make it part of your daily routine. Show the empathy, show the enthusiasm. Those two things will change the game for you in your sales career, no matter what you're doing. You're going to build rapport. You're going to get far more reviews than any other of your coworkers. Like, it's just, it will blow your mind. So if when it comes to showing empathy and having the time to put that spotlight on the customer when they call, if you're struggling with that, I want you to reach out to Market Today. Just go to markettoday.com. I'll put the phone number down in the description of this video. Give them a call and see about letting them answer your phones. That way they can give the customer that empathy that they actually deserve when they call your company. Because it's going to set you up for success when you actually get there to perform the call. So they do this every day. It's just regular practice. They're great at it. And that way you can just focus on getting your work done and stop getting interrupted by the phone. Remember, stop being the boss. Stop letting the phone be your boss. Like, take back some time, some control of your daily schedule. Let somebody else answer the phones for you. Call markettoday.com, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe, please comment below, and go make money. Go look for those connectors, mavens, and salespeople. Those are going to be your raving fans that spread the name of your company like wildfire. Boom.